Hey, welcome everyone to episode 34 of season 3, live from STS Studios in St. Louis, Missouri. It's the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Yeah, it's Thursday and this is a special edition, which means it's Who Wants to Be the Best Shizniter Ever. We'll get to the game show in just 1 second. I just want to do a thanks to my big buddy Bob McGee at Pro Wrestling's Between the Sheets, www.pwbts.com. I want to let everyone know about the STS Pod merch. That's right, it's tinyurl.com/STS merch. tinyurl.com/STS merch. The t-shirts are up there. You also can hit the stickers and you can get stickers. Follow me at Comic Book Mark BT. That's at Comic Book Mark BT. You can go to the website www.stspod.club, and on the right side you can do Amazon Music Unlimited, Amazon Prime, and we all get a little kickback here at Shooting the Shiznit. I want to invite you to the Cool Kids Wrestling and MMA Talk Facebook group. Do a search, we'll let you in. It's not for the kiddos and usually not politically correct. Also, guys, we're on iTunes and we're on Stitcher. And a big shout out to my buddies, my podcast buddies, Suplex City Limits, Creative Control, Local to Legends Wrestling Radio with my buddy Gene Jackson. Now, no further BS. Let's get to the game show. Who wants to be the best Shizniter ever? Before we get to the show, here's the rules and regulations of Who Wants to Be the Best Shizniter Ever. Every 2 weeks, 2 contestants will face off in a battle of wits. The show is only 30 minutes, with each contestant taking turns picking a subject from 9 subjects on the board. There will be 5 rounds with alternating turns determined by a coin toss at the beginning of the show. The winner of the coin toss gets to decide if he wants to go first or his opponent. Contestant 1 picks a subject, then the host will read the question. Each contestant then has 75 seconds to talk shiznit until the buzzer goes off, and then the other contestant gets 75 seconds to talk on the same subject. There is 1 pass for the entire show. Whoever uses it gets to pass the question for their opponent to talk first. How does a contestant win? STS Network has established a Shiznit Council. The novice members of that council have 8 days to determine who is the winner. The council consists of former contestants and members of Cool Kids Wrestling and MMA Talk Facebook group. At the end of the 5th round, each contestant will also get to plead their case on why the council should vote for them. Winner will return for the next episode as the best Shizniter champion. Sample boards and video of rules are posted on www.stspod.club. Alright, welcome to a new episode of Who Wants to Be the Best Shizniter Ever. We have a new challenger, and we have the champion, 2-time champion now, Matthew. So first, let's let the challenger introduce himself. Go ahead and tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do, what's your favorite drink, who's your girlfriend. Oh, wait, you don't want to tell your wife that. But go ahead, let us know there, Scott.
Well, let's see. For about 300 days a year, my name is Scottie Wince. I work at Darling Store Fixtures as a truck loader. I love to play video games and work out. And, of course, I guess since you want to know this, my favorite drink is water. But the other 65 days of the year, most people call me a dick, but I call myself Big Vic. So, you know, it really depends on what day of the week it is. So today you're lucky because it's just Scotty you're talking to. So what's going on, BT?
There we go, Scotty. Hey, and tell them where you're from. The great town of...
Oh, a little shithole town called Perryville, Arkansas.
Got 2 Southern boys again. We got the champion defending his title today. He beat Gene Jackson. Gene, you got beat. Matthew, go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, in case this is the first time that the listeners are listening to you.
Sure thing, BT. My name is Matthew Essary. I'm from the not-so-great city of Nashville, Tennessee. I've been a wrestling fan for 30 years. I'm a licensed suicide prevention counselor. I'm thinking about watching the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view tonight, as it's a Sunday morning right now when we're recording this. I think I might have to put myself on suicide watch later, so I'm glad I've got that experience. As far as my favorite
hey, man,
drink,
you're supposed to be kayfabing. This is on Thursday now. Come on. No, that's okay,
oh, yeah.
Matthew. Welcome back, though.
Thunder on Thursday.
Yeah. you beat Brian Thompson and you beat Gene Jackson. And I always thought both of those guys were good Shizniters anyway, but we got the challenge of Scottie this time. Scottie, you're the challenger, and so you get to choose heads or tails.
Let's go with tails.
Tails it is. Now, Scottie, you get to choose who goes first.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, Matt.
Okay, well, I will go first.
Hold on just a minute, Matt. Let me go real quick here. So if people haven't looked at the board on stspod.club, then the board this week features Allocates, Dave, Prazak, 3 matches, My Baloney Has a First Name, 3 Stooges, The Red Rooster, John, Paul, Ringo, and George, tag Dateline, and You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. So what are we going to pick there, Matthew?
Okay, well, I've always considered myself a tailor-made man who's a bit of a dick, or as I could say, a cock. So I'll go with Red Rooster.
Red Rooster it is. Here we go, Matthew. Here's the question. Now, we all remember the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor. Not a very successful gimmick. So here's what I want you to do. How would you have booked him to win a title?
How would I have booked Terry Taylor to win a title with the Red Rooster gimmick? Okay. Well, yeah, it's simple, man. The gimmick was not that terrible. It's the way he carried himself. I mean, WWF got over at the time with so many terrible gimmicks. Like Matt Bourne was doing the clown. He got over with the evil clown gimmick. All Terry had to do was take his whole Red Rooster cock of the walk thing and just be confident. He could have been a cartoonish Ric Flair. He could have strutted around. He didn't have to crow or dye his hair. He could have just worn the jacket and said that the Red Rooster is because he is the cock of the goddamn walk. I mean, he could have flirted with women in the audience like Rick Rude. He could have strutted around the ring. He could have just been a confident man. He didn't have to dye his hair red and crow. You know, he could have just said that, I'm the cock of the walk. I'm the one all the hens want. But he decided to basically half-ass the game because he was lazy, or he thought he was good enough to get over without really trying very hard. But Terry Taylor, man, all he had to do was basically be a cartoonish version of Ric Flair, which is really he was always a low rent Ric Flair anyway. He couldn't really talk that well, so the gimmick really should have helped him. But again, he was content just kind of bob his head and dye his hair and think that was enough to get over, and it really wasn't. I mean, he couldn't even really make a match with the Brooklyn Brawler work well. I mean, he didn't really put his heart into it. But all he had to do was just be confident and say that the Red Rooster thing was a moniker, because he was truly the cock of the walk, and that all the hens wanted to be with him, that he ruled the roost. I mean, things like that, would have gotten him over, and if he'd gotten over his work rate, he could have won the title.
Matthew. The buzzer's going off. Your 90 seconds is over. Now, Scottie, the buzzer won't go off. Scottie, the question is, and the category first is Red Rooster, and the question is, how would you book him, the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor, to win a title? Go.
Terry Taylor as the Red Rooster, how to book him to win a title. Well, let's see. He was technically supposed to be a quote-unquote ladies' man. So why not book him to, win the women's title? Because, at the time, there really wasn't a women's champion. Moolah would come around once every 3 years. They go to Lunja Blaze for, 60 days or so? So, why not, if you want to do a women's division, inadvertently have Terry Taylor win the women's title by swooning him, not by beating him, but by going out there and just being Mr., look at me, I'm pretty, I'm sexy, look at my cool clothes, and just swooning them out of the title. He could have walked around with that thing for years. He thought he was a ladies' man anyways. Might as well let him carry the women's title. Have a little fun with it. And I still have more time, don't I?
Yes, sir, Scottie. We got still about 20 seconds.
Got about 20 seconds. Okay, so if he swooned all the women to win the title, let's see, they would have to make it to where basically whoever was. Oh God, I screwed this up. All right, well there you go. That's where I'm at.
There we go. Hey, we got.
I lost my train of thought like a motherfucker. God.
That's all right, man. That's what it's all about. The buzzer went off, and I turned it off really quick. That's 90 seconds. Now, Scotty, you need to go to the board. Remember, we don't have the red register anymore, so pick something off the board.
Hashtag Dateline.
Hashtag Dateline. All right, hashtag Dateline. Here's the question. What wrestling couple or what two wrestlers do we think will show up on a future episode of Dateline? Go ahead and tell us who and why. Go, Scotty.
Oh, my God. That is hilarious. Well, let's see. Titus O'Neil. He would be the male. Titus O'Neil would be the male. I don't know why. He just seems like a highly creepy individual. he just seems like one of those that would get drunk and start talking to 13-year-old kids. I was talking about Lawler there for a second. Shit. No, maybe not him. Maybe it would be Lawler that would be on the future episode of Dateline. And who would be the female? It would. It'd have to be Lawler's girlfriend then. But it couldn't be because she's not on the show.
It don't really matter. I mean, just somebody in wrestling, and why would they show up on Dateline?
She's not even in wrestling, yeah. The women, I don't know. That'd be a tough call because I don't actually see any women on the TV that are actually creepy. I mean, not creepy in that way, you know. Now that
that
Rosemary chick,
murder mysteries too. Don't let me. They do have murder mysteries too. So.
No, I'm still going to go with that Rosemary girl from Global Force. She seems like a total creeper too. I could go with them too.
Hashtag Dateline. Your 90 seconds is up, and we're going to go. If I can turn the buzzer off, let's go to Matthew. Matthew, second subject of the night, off the board. Hashtag Dateline. You got 90 seconds, and it starts now.
Okay, well, I'll tell you, BT. The only two people that I can think of, and I believe they're a real-world couple. I don't think they've ever mentioned it on TV, but I'm going to throw it out there if I'm wrong. I still don't think they're a quote-unquote good pair, and that's Braun Strowman and Nia Jax. What a horrifying idea that is, right? I mean, think about it, man. I mean, can you imagine those two holding hands, let alone making out? Or God, what if they got into a domestic dispute? I mean, would they tear the actual house down? I mean, and as far as a murder, I know it's definitely killed my faith in the human race, thinking of those two actually together having sex. And if not my faith in the human race, it's definitely killed my libido. Because, I mean, God damn, can you just imagine those two together in any situation other than just punching each other? I mean, can you imagine them, like, going out on a date or holding hands or going to, like, a county fair? I mean, it's mind-blowing to me that those two people exist in the same world, let alone that they're attracted to each other. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, can you imagine what their kids would look like? I mean, just these gigantic, like, Bigfoot-looking mammoth children. And, I mean, it's unreal to me that those two people exist in the same space and time without the universe tearing asunder. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, how did Nia Jax, who admittedly is not a bad-looking woman for her size, if you look at a guy like Braun Strowman and go, man, I want some of that. I want some of that ogre from Revenge of the Nerds love. I mean, Jesus. I mean, how the hell did that happen?
90 seconds is up. I said this on another show, but those guys right there would make beautiful babies. I don't care what you say. All right, so let's make it in.
Sasquatch.
We're on the third subject of the. Go ahead.
Hey, and to add a little bit to that, watching Braun Strowman have sex with somebody would be like watching a lion maul a puppy.
Hey, folks, you can't vote on that joke, okay? All right, we're going to the third subject, and Matthew, you did start, so you are number 3, right? It is your turn.
Yes.
So you picked the subject.
Well, I'll go ahead with a guy who I thought was a very underrated commentator and a pretty good manager, and he's turning to be a damn good promoter, and that's Mr. Dave Prazak, man.
All right, Dave Prazak, also a friend of ours and been on the show there. But here's the deal. Dave started All Girls Promotion, Shimmer. Here's what I want you to do. For 90 seconds, tell us whatever promotion you would start and name it. So you got 90 seconds.
Let's see here. If I was going to start an all anything promotion, I think I would try to do an all midget promotion. Try to do it seriously, because I mean that's something you don't really see nowadays. I mean they do midgets like a sideshow act, or I guess maybe the correct nomenclature is little person division. Or but think about how many times you see midgets booked and they're doing comedy acts or they're doing ridiculous, like goofy stunts to try to make the crowds laugh. But I mean, some of those guys can work. I mean. And I think that's an untapped potential for just something that you don't see anymore. It's a straight up realistically booked midget division, and you could have lots of little gags that could be funny in context, but not necessarily at the expense of the actual wrestlers. You could have tiny table ladders and chairs matches those guys treat seriously, but is a little humorous. I mean, so often you think of it that's an untapped potential that's never really been done in wrestling. It's actually having a straight booked realistic midget promotion. And there are guys out there who wrestle in these little goofy comedy act promotions that tour the country. Some of them, I'm sure, were lifelong wrestling fans who chomp at the bit to be given a chance to do realistic and good quality wrestling with true storylines. It's not something you really see before. I mean, but all the other things have really been tapped. You've already had women's wrestling. You've had all luchador promotions. You definitely have all male promotions. So definitely the midget thing has just never really been done before. So if you want to do something truly different, that's what I would do, because, I mean, think about the untapped potential. And sure, there is a sideshow quality
All right,
to it. There's a freak
90
quality to it.
seconds is up there, Matthew, and we go to Scotty. Scotty, the subject is Dave Prazak, and he does an all-girls promotion, Shimmer. What kind of promotion would you do consisted of all what? And let's go ahead and name it. You got 90 seconds.
If I was to run a promotion, I would do an all-tag team promotion, just for the simple fact that, A, I love tag team wrestling. I always have, always will. And, B, there were a lot of great tag teams that you could use and bring in. Hell, you could even bring in the crappy ones if you wanted to. I mean, the list goes on and on. You got the Midnight Express, you got the Rock'n'Roll Express, you got Arn and Tully, you got Tully and Arn. I mean, you can... Some of these guys you could intertwine with 3 or 4 different people. It would be great. And you wouldn't have to do just all tag matches all the time either. You could always, do 3-way matches. You could do singles matches, what have you, blah blah blah. Oh, what would I name it? You know what? That's a very good question. I'll have to get back with you on that one because I don't know. What would I call it? But yeah, you could, especially in the South, you could run an all tag team promotion, and it would work. People would love it. It'd be great because you could also bring in other tag titles from other promotions. Since you don't have 2 major singles champions, you could have multiple tag title champions from different states, different promotions, different areas of the country. They could all come in, and you could basically run it like a tournament.
Your 90 seconds is up. Now, we went through 3 subjects on the board, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the last 2 subjects on the board.
From San Francisco comes... Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. Rice-A-Roni, the flavor can't be beat. 1 pan, no boiling, cooking ease.
A flavor that is sure to please.
Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. Rice-A-Roni, the delicious break from potatoes. Now in 6 fabulous flavors. 1 pan, no boiling, cooking ease.
A flavor that is sure to please.
Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
All right, we're back, and it's Scotty's turn. Now, Scotty, we have left on the board 3 matches. My Baloney has a first name. Alcades, John, Paul, Ringo, and George, and you ain't nothing but a hound dog. Pick it, Scotty.
My Baloney has a first name.
All right, my Baloney has a first name, and the question is, if you had to name your penis a certain wrestler, who would it be? You have 90 seconds, and tell us why.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, that is hilarious. I would name my penis Barry Windham. That's what I would name my penis. I would name it Barry Windham because Barry Windham's never had a bad match. And you would never have a bad lay if you were with me. That's what that would come down to. He'd be the tallest, he'd be the biggest, he'd be the best looking thing you've ever seen because that's what Barry Windham was at one time. Barry Windham was the man. Barry Windham still is the man. So yes, my baloney would be named Barrywindham. Barry Windham, that's his name. Come see him if you want to.
All right, we still have 30 seconds to talk about your penis, Scotty.
Oh, wow, talk about my penis. Well, I'll tell you this right now. My penis would not have long hair like he did. It would definitely be a Stone Cold Steve Austin looking Barry Windham. Except, he'd be taller and people would want him. So, Oh, my gosh.
For some reason,
terrible.
I see that flying clothesline. I don't know. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, God, the flying clothesline off the bedpost?
Yeah, there we go.
That is fantastic.
All right, your 90 seconds.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, Matthew. Now, the question is, my baloney has a first name. That's the category. And the question is, if you had to name your penis a certain wrestler, who would it be? And why?
Well, I'll tell you, BT, there's really only one answer to that really important question of our time, this really important social question, and that answer is Big Van Vader. Because, there's so many parallels between my cock and that legendary superstar of Japan and America. One, he's mobile, he's thick, he's bald on top. Let's see here. When it's time, when it's time for those romantic moments to happen, you can always start off with it's time, it's Vader time. And when it gets to the end of that final moment, I can say there's time for me to drop the Vader bomb. Let's face it, what better way to end it is that? And and if I hit her too hard in the mouth with it, maybe her eye will pop out. I don't know. So there's always that, and let's face it, anytime it's going to happen, it's going to be at least a 4 to 5 star experience, at least if it's with an Asian. So there's always that. So I think that really, when you get down to it, who else would you want but someone who was big, thick, and had good work rate, and could really go stiff, if you know what I'm saying. So Big Van Vader, that's what I would call my cock. And if it came down to it, I like to think of it as like an elephant sometimes, and he always wore that elephant helmet. And when it's all said and done, I wouldn't just be blowing smoke out of it, if you know what I'm saying. So, Big Van Vader, that's what I call my cock.
All right, now your 90 seconds is up there,
and
we're going to go to the last category. And what's left is Allocades, 3 matches, the Three Stooges, John, Paul, Ringo, and George, and you ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Okay, BT, well, I'm probably going to regret this one, but I've been wondering about this since last week. I'm going to go with Allocades.
Okay, Allocades. This come from a famous Lex Luger interview. So if you guys can remember, he was talking about all the Allocades that he got. So who, all time or right now, does the worst promo? So tell us about the worst promo. You got 90 seconds.
Let's see. The worst promos in wrestling right now, I hate to say it because I'm such a huge fan of the guy, but I have to say it has to be Shinsuke Nakamura. I know they're keeping his promo time limited, but his English is just not there yet, man. And every time He looks like he's going to start speaking English. He has like these weird like spasms with his face, like he's struggling to get it out. I don't actually know if it's something he's working or kayfabing, or if it's literally difficult for him to form English sentences. And he's such a dynamic worker, and he's got such good work rate, and he's got so much body charisma that it just kills me that he seems to be struggling so much with cutting promos when it's such a big part of what WWE is. They really need to get the guy some sort of mouthpiece or some sort of manager. Bring back the manager system and stick him with someone like Paul Heyman, or get him a valet, someone who can kind of present him so he can just be physically charismatic and stop trying to just muddle through promos where you can barely understand him, especially when he's got that mouth guard in. I mean, it sounds like he's got a lisp, and he's mush mouth, and he's got a really thick foreign accent. So, I mean, it's really hard for me to say this, but Shinsuke Nakamura, one of the best wrestlers in the world, cut some of the very worst promos. He looks like he's about to pass out even he has to say, maybe more than a couple sentences. And it's painful to me because the guy should be a champion in WWE, but that promo skill is always going to hold him back. So they really need to get him with a valet or a manager or some sort of advocate character.
All right,
so that he can present himself.
90 seconds is up. All right, Scotty, it'll be your turn. Here's the final allocates. Okay, who does the worst promo now, either now or all time? 90 seconds.
Right now, everybody cuts a terrible promo. And the reason why is because they have 30 freaking people in the back that's telling them what to say and what to do at all times. I mean, I have never seen a time where, you have 25 to 30 people who have probably never ever stepped inside of a wrestling ring or know what's going on to begin with, writing out, 3, 4, 5-page dissertations to people, and they have to remember them word for word and then regurgitate them like it's their own words. I mean, come on. Give these guys a break. I mean, there's a reason why they're called professional wrestlers, even if you don't want to call them that. That's exactly what they are. They're all trained to talk. Just let them go out there, let them be themselves, let them talk for a while, and see what happens. You'll be amazed at the turnaround that'll happen. But instead, they would, rather have 30 people back there writing up like little nerds all day long and then hand people 20 pages of freaking paperwork and go, well, here's the show, instead of just, give them some pointers, give them bullet points. Here, go out here, talk about this. This is where we're going. This is what we're doing. Have at it. You got 5 minutes. There's no reason to give somebody 6 pages or 4 or 5 pages of damn words. Here, this is your promo. This is what you should be doing. No. What they need to be doing is doing what feels right, not what, Johnny Dumbfuck in the corner thinks is cool. I don't get that. I don't understand. How do you expect anybody to get better or to learn if you tell them what to do at all times? Completely pointless. And until they change that, everybody's going to be terrible.
90 minutes is up, and now we go to the last part of the show where what happens now is we bring both of the contestants up, and they will have 1 minute to plead their case on why they should win. Who wants to be the best Shizniter ever? And we're going to go, as we did last week, with the challenger first. Scotty, you have 1 minute to tell us why you should win.
Why I should win? Well, the first reason why I should win is because I want to name my penis Barry Windham. Because Barry Windham is the man. I will reiterate that again. Barry Windham is the man. If you haven't watched enough of him, get on the network, watch more. Because Barry Windham is the man. That's why. That is the only reason why I should win this. Because I had the best answer for that question. Doesn't matter what Matthew said on anything else. That, and I had the really cool joke about Braun Strowman. So if you want to hear more cool jokes about really tall, ugly ogres, I got them.
All right, that's why he should be. You got, like I said, you got at least a minute. It looks like Scotty's done, so it's your time, Matthew. Tell us why you should be 3-time champion and why you should be the best Shizniter ever.
Well, first of all, BT, I think if I keep winning these things, you're going to have to give me that belt. And I definitely want to see you scramble around and try to figure out a way to get me a belt. So if, I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be fun for the viewers or the listeners or what have you. So that's one reason. But really, it comes down to it again, man. I'm a fan, and I'm a fan who likes pointing out what's wrong with wrestling nowadays, in funny and interesting ways. The older I get, the more opinionated I get, and, the more clever I get. And I think that's what, this needs. It needs someone who can point out what's silly and wrong with wrestling. God knows there's a lot silly and wrong with wrestling. Again, I'm not in the business. I'm not a part-timer. I'm not a weekend warrior. I'm just a guy who loves wrestling. I've watched wrestling since I was a kid, and I've always had, opinions about it, opinions that I'm willing to share, and that I think I can express in funny ways. So that's why I'm here, because I represent your listeners more than anyone else who we've had on this show so far. I am them, they are me. We are all the fucking internet wrestling community, and so as a representative, I think I am the representative.
All right,
the
time is up, guys, and the time is up for the show. I want to thank Scottie and Matthew for joining us this week. I want to give you the new rules as we did at the very beginning. What this goes to is the Shiznit Council now. It is peers of the guests that have been defeated join. There's also guys from the Cool Kids that vote. It's an anonymous council, and they have 8 days after this airs to tell us who won Best Shizniter ever for this week. So, guys, join us this upcoming Tuesday for another Shooting the Shiznit, and also we will have Cool Kids Countdown 1 week from today. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
At Metro PCS, we let the numbers do the talking. 4. Enjoy a reliable 4G LTE network that's faster than Sprint. 2. Get 2 free smartphones when you switch to Metro PCS. 99. The percentage of people in the U.S. covered by Metro PCS. Get 2 free Samsung Galaxy J3 Prime smartphones when you switch. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in past 90 days. Coverage claim based on talk text coverage. Speed claim from downloads. See store for details, terms, and conditions. At Metro PCS, we let the numbers do the talking. 4. Enjoy a reliable 4G LTE network that's faster than Sprint. 2. Get 2 free smartphones when you switch to Metro PCS. 99. The percentage of people in the U.S. covered by Metro PCS. Get 2 free Samsung Galaxy J3 Prime smartphones when you switch. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in past 90 days. Coverage claim based on talk text coverage. Speed claim from downloads.